welcome you to our first State of the Nation broadcast since the current administration assumed office on May 29, 2023. The theme of today's broadcast is Vice, Virtue, and Time. The three things that never stand still. Vice, virtue, and time. The three things that never stand still. This theme draws inspiration from both the sacred scripture and the words of two Englishmen, a cleric, Charles Caleb Colton, and a historian and politician, Edward Gibbon. In Revelation chapter 22, verses 11 and 12, we read the admonition of Jesus. It says, and I quote, "He who is just, let him be unjust still. He who is filthy, let him be filthy still. He who is righteous, let him be righteous still. He who is holy, let him be holy still." Verse number 12, "And behold, I am coming quickly, and my reward is with me to give to everyone according to his work." As though echoing the words of Christ, Charles Caleb Colton wrote, "He that is good will infallibly become better, and he that is bad will as certainly become worse. For vice, virtue, and time are three things that never stand still." On his part, Edward Gibbon wrote, "All that is human must retrograde if it does not advance." Fellow Nigerians, time is fast spent on our journey to nationhood, and it's abundantly clear that instead of advancing forcefully in the right direction, we are regressing forcefully in a frantic race to the bottom. There's simply no middle ground. Please lend me your ears as I, by God's grace, show the way out of our present national dilemma. I would like to begin this address by identifying with my fellow Nigerian citizens who are often unceremoniously described as ordinary Nigerians or average Nigerians. I salute the Nigerian citizen who has for so long a time borne the brunt of the capricious policies of political actors and the greed of a colluding elite. From a wrongly implemented Naira redesign policy to an impulsive fuel subsidy removal announcement, and from a drowning of purchasing power in an attempt to float the Naira, to an unbearable increase in the cost of basic amenities, the past and recent months have been particularly excruciating for the Nigerian citizen. I'm talking about employees who have been forced to trek owing to the unavoidable spike in transportation costs. Parents struggling to bridge the gap between their life savings and the cost of living. Graduates whose chances of getting a job have become slimmer due to the impact of the economy on the labor market. I'm talking about that trader whose meager daily income has further diminished in value due to the dwindling value of the Naira. That farmer who looks on in agony as his produce rots on the farm due to transportation challenges, inflation, and insecurity. Those children who will invariably be sent home in September due to outstanding fees. I acknowledge you, fellow citizens of our nation, because you are the true heroes. The rulers that they are immune to the pain that you have to go through daily, and they are not true reformers. You, the Nigerian citizens, who have borne the burden of an ill-planned and vaguely led reform agenda, are the true reformers. You are the true reformers because of your adaptability. You are the true reformers because of the creative ways by which you adjust to hardship. You reform your personal and corporate economies and navigate the increasingly difficult terrain. You, the so-called ordinary Nigerians, are the true reformers, because somehow, hoping against hope, you show up every single day in what will appear to be a federal republic of diminishing returns. Therefore, my fellow Nigerian citizens, I make bold to say that there's nothing average about you, there's nothing ordinary about you, there's indeed nothing common about you. You are distinguished citizens of our nation, and you deserve the best of the land. The purpose of government is not to serve cronies. It's not to pander to corrupt business interests. It's not to patronize a consumptive political class. It's not even to appease neo-colonial foreign powers. The purpose of government is to serve you, the Nigerian citizen. Therefore, the focus of this address is just simply how to ensure that the government serves you. Amid the turbulent start to the administration of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I've held my peace, hoping that wisdom will prevail even while the government was in its so-called honeymoon phase. When in his inauguration address on May 29, 2023, President Tinubu announced that fuel subsidy is gone, despite the conscious exclusion of that contentious speech by his advisors. It was clear that our nation had been unwittingly plunged into chaos by a very poor change management process. Whatever the president's true motivations were, it is clear that he put the cart before the horse. What's also clear is that the president was economical with the truth by giving Nigerians the impression that was taking a courageous move or step to remove the fuel subsidy when the previous government had already taken that step. As Nigerians will later learn, subsidy payment had already been ended by the Buhari administration, and no subsidy was paid in 2023, even though there was provision for it on paper up to June 2023. What is again clear is that in line with change management principles, the president should have handled more circumspectly the announcement of such an issue that borders on the livelihood of the Nigerian citizen. That would have spared Nigerians the reactionary scarcity and price hikes that immediately followed his announcement. Furthermore, what is even clearer is that the president had been handed a month of grace by the previous administration, a month that should have been used to put in place cushioning effects before the official expiration of the subsidized economy. It is noteworthy that in his address to the nation on July 31, 2023, President Tinubu adjusted his tone and admitted that the past administration had indeed taken action on subsidy, as there was no budgetary allocation for it from the end of June. It's also noteworthy that he admitted that there was a gap between the removal of the subsidy and the rollout of palliatives. While I commend the president for coming clean on this issue, it is in the best interest of the nation for Mr. President next time to consider intended and unintended consequences before committing to a course of action. Thank you. Let us now consider the cost of just one impulsive action to Nigerians in the past few months. Even as the president in his July 31 address celebrated the 1 trillion naira reportedly saved from subsidy or from subsidy removal, what he did not tell Nigerians is the cost of his approach to the Nigerian economy. According to the Nigerian Association of Small and Medium Enterprises, about 4 million micro, small, and medium enterprises in the country have shut down in the 2 months since the subsidy removal was announced. This is even as jobs have been lost and households have been thrown into disarray due to a poorly managed policy. This same impulsive leadership style was clearly evident when the president recently led the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, to violate an ancient principle of diplomacy that is recognized even in the Holy Book, that you must offer peace before declaring war. By placing military invasion on the table from the very start, before subsequently exploring diplomatic options with the coup plotters in the Republic of Niger, President Tinubu once again put the cart before the horse, thus placing Nigeria and the sub-region in a precarious situation. Truly, those that are loudest in their threats are weakest in the execution of them. Fellow Nigerians, what is further clear concerning our domestic challenges is that by imposing hardships on Nigerians without going after those corrupt individuals, corporations, and government officials who have plundered Nigeria over the years in the name of subsidy, the president has picked the wrong fight. In his Monday, July 31, 2023 address to the nation, the president stated that the vast sum of money which would have been better spent on public transportation, healthcare, schools, housing, and even national security was being funneled into the deep pockets and lavish bank accounts of a select group of individuals. The president further stated that the subsidy removal policy was to stop the squandering of monies on smugglers and fraudsters. This compels us to ask the following salient questions. Number one, who are these select groups of individuals into whose deep pockets our national treasury has been funneled? Number two, who are these smugglers and fraudsters that have been defrauding our nation in the name of subsidy? Number three, who are these nameless characters that are fed fat at the expense of the poor? Mr. President, are they your business partners or are they all sacred cows? Mr. President, if you are truly on the side of the poor, if you are serious about the welfare of the people, if you truly want the poor to breathe, as you have once said, then kill corruption and not Nigerians.